Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
It's time for another daily dose of dismal Disney. Disney is laying off 7,000 workers. We've talked about that, but they're getting backlash for spending millions of dollars on a Super Bowl commercial.
Yes, they had a commercial, and it was like a 30-second commercial. So you know those cost a lot of money to run just 30 seconds.
Yes.
And it was basically like here's for a 100-year anniversary. Most of it, I'm going to tell you, was a ton of Rey and Disney Star Wars.
Yeah.
So the rumor is they're going to double down on that, which is absolutely stupid given how shitty the original trilogy they did went. And then it was a lot of other stuff like, hey, look, Toy Story and Zootopia and Frozen.
All the new recent, like 100 years of
mostly
Disney. It's like, where's the classic stuff?
They had some classic stuff in there, but majority of it seemed to be more the new stuff. And then they had to have Walt Disney, his voiceover talking about people and stuff, and and then Bob Iger was talking about how the cast members and people make Disney, and then they're laying off people.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. I know a lot of people were talking about Rey being so prominent in it when the sequel trilogy was such a dud. But
yes, that's the first thing I noticed.
They got a Star Cruiser to sell, right? So
it's not selling.
It's not selling. So before you get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 293, almost 294,000 subs. Getting to 300,000. Hit the subscribe button, please. Go out to piratesandprincesses.net for objective Disney news. And also, we've relaunched our podcast. You can find that out there. We talk a lot about this stuff in detail. But yeah, we're not as salty. Not quite as salty as Clownfish TV.
Over on the part of PMP.
Yeah.
I was just going to say about the Star Cruiser. They did this deal. They offered all this stuff. They still had to cancel a bunch of dates.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dates aren't sold out. I mean, there might be a couple sold out around the deal, but for majority of it, it's not. It's wide open. People just don't care. They're not spending that money. Those who wanted to go already did it.
Yeah, which is exactly what we said would happen. We'd have the Disney diehards. We'd have the social media influencers. And then after that, it's going to fall off a cliff, especially with a recession. People don't have $5,000 or $6,000 to go LARP in fake Star Wars for 2 days. Not even 2 days.
It's Disney Star Wars, too.
Disney Star Wars. So they're going to try to make Rey happen. She's not going to happen. Give it up, guys. I just went to Ollie's yesterday. There's rows and rows and rows and rows of action figures of Rey. Nobody wants her. Anyway, Disney raised hackles with its Super Bowl ad, according to the New York Post. To thank employees just days after the Mouse House announced plans to cut thousands of jobs. Thank you, cast members. Collect your ham on the way out the door. Here's your brick of cheese.
To be fair, I think most of the jobs that are being cut are not jobs in the parks. But you're talking about 100 years of Disney. You're talking about everyone from, park cast members clear up to, Bob Iger.
Mm-hmm. So the Disney 100 campaign was intended as a celebration of all of our fans and families and our storytellers and creative visionaries, said Bob Iger in a press release. Buying the Super Bowl commercial, which cost as much as $7 million per spot, sparked criticism. The tech blog Gizmodo described it as an ill-timed victory lap.
I agree. It was not smart. And it was I said it was 90 seconds. I didn't think it was that long, but I said it was 90 seconds.
You just hear it's like, as soon as the clock starts on a Super Bowl ad, it's like you just see the money drain. It's like pumping gas, but like really super, like more expensive gas than usual. And you're just watching the money just drain.
They could have probably got, a lot cheaper and a lot more reach out of running them on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or just posted it. Everybody was leaking it, like the ads and stuff. You posted your ad like when everybody else was posting theirs. It could have got caught up, and it would have got reported on, and you would have got seen. That was really, really tasteless. Given that you just announced layoffs, you just announced $5.5 billion in cuts. Well, let's spend some, and that's just for one spot. They had several because they had different trailers.
Yeah. So they had
several million per trailer.
Yep.
Guardians,
Ant-Man, I think they had.
Indiana
Jones, yeah. So, speaking of Indiana Jones, they've turned off the dislikes completely. Somehow, as if by magic.
Well, they have likes and dislikes off, so you can't even use what they call
the
that?
plug-in. They have a plug-in to reveal the dislike count.
You can't even do that because it's completely turned off.
Yep.
And just on that trailer.
That's so Disney. That's Kathleen Kennedy, I'm sure. For as much touching footage as there is in the Super Bowl spot, it's not wrong to call it a grimly timed flex.
I agree. It really is kind of tasteless given everything that happened leading up to it.
Many Twitter users also voiced their displeasure with the commercial. Something about that Disney celebratory ad bugs me. Maybe it's the recent announcement they're laying off 7,000 employees and spending at least $7 million on the ad. Yeah, how many salaries?
And it's a senior marketing editor who said it.
Yeah, senior marketing editor at Digiday. Wow, that's not a good look. That's not a good look, Bob. Exactly. The layoffs were pitched as cost-cutting. Spending on a Super Bowl ad is not essential.
No, and you probably, honestly, depending on what the jobs were, that probably would have covered a lot of those people.
True to form, Twitter. This Disney ad coming off the back of major layoffs is a big yikes.
LMAO.
That is the most Twitter.
Well, they're not wrong.
They're not wrong. Disney firing 7,000 people before dropping a Super Bowl ad is very American. Capitalists. Disney lays off 7,000 employees Thursday, spends $7 million on a Super Bowl ad spot on Sunday. Clearly a company that has its priorities straight. Of course, they would have had to purchase that spot months ahead of time.
That's true.
Because you can't just call up the Super Bowl and say, hey guys, yeah, I got like $10 million. Can I just buy a spot?
I mean, while that's true, they announced months ago that they were going to make cuts. So they knew they were going to restructure and make cuts months ago. So the flip side is they knew they were going to make the cuts. They didn't know how many. They hadn't specified, but they've been saying, because Chapek announced they were going to do layoffs when Bob Iger came back and did his town hall in November. Mm-hmm. He also said, he basically was saying that, we're going to have to still probably do some of that. Well, he wouldn't answer the question later on. He was like, we are going to have to, he was on the right track. We are going to have to make some cuts.
Yeah.
So they knew.
They knew. And beyond that, you can't turn off the marketing. And just to play devil's advocate here, I can't believe I'm actually defending a Disney decision, but they're trying to promote the 100th anniversary of Disney. You're trying to get people to the parks and to buy your products. Putting Ray in the commercial is not a good idea.
But why? Because what they're offering for the 100th anniversary is pretty shit. I mean, let's be honest here. Disneyland's getting the lion's share of it, and even then, it's just like everybody's complaining about. That's it. That's what we're getting for 100 years. It's
But it's magical shit.
Not
it's
really.
Magical shit with lots of gold fleck and paint that comes off easy, I'm sure.
I mean, there's lots of merch they just put up Oswald merch today.
See, it's nostalgia bait, Oh, I can't wait for all the Splash Mountain merch. It's the whatever anniversary of Splash Mountain, even though it's been changed to Tiana. Get your Brer characters here.
I don't think they will. Well, maybe in 10, 15 years when people get over this shit, because they did this crap in the 90s of the PC, the political correctness, and it wasn't to this extent. I mean, it was pretty bad, but it wasn't like it is now, and that went away. So they might, but I doubt it. I don't know. Would they?
Yes, they would. Disney always goes back. They shut down attractions. They give a reason for shutting down the attraction.
Yeah, but in this case, they're saying it was racist, and that's why they had to shut it down. How it would look really bad to turn around and sell merchandise.
It looks really bad to turn around and spend $7 million on a Super Bowl commercial after you laid a bunch of people off.
But like you said, that was probably in the works before that. I know. But they knew the layoffs were coming. They just didn't say how many until then.
Only 5 comments. Nobody cares. Everybody's turning on Disney.
It is fun. Yeah, now it's trendy. This is funny because the same stuff we said, since forever, and we've said it a whole time we've been on this channel. Everybody else is saying it now, but we get told we're terrible people for it, and everybody else gets applauded.
I think it's so funny. Everybody's turning on Disney now, and the pandemic definitely showed their true colors. And we're like, guys, we have been telling you this as people that have been around this company and seen how they actually think and how they actually operate. They're not your friends. I mean, to be clear, there are some really good people working at Disney. Mm-hmm. There are some very good people working at Disney, but the company as a whole doesn't give a shit about your causes. They don't give a shit about, all they care about is making money.
Yeah, even the whole thing with the Nelson Peltz thing, the stuff he wanted, the Restore the Magic was just a ruse to get all the people that want the parks to be great again to come back and vote for him. But at the end of the day, it was, I want to see cost cuts. I want to see dividends returned. I want to see, I want to see streaming have a plan that's actually going to make us money.
Right.
It's all about money. Just like Disney goes on and on about, we got to be inclusive and diverse and everything else. But then when push comes to shove for China, wow, isn't it amazing that stuff just disappears? Black Panther, T'Challa gets his face covered on the poster. Finn gets shrunken down, or removed. Because when push comes to shove, they don't care.
That's true. They don't care. They care about the profits, and that's how it works. They don't care about their people. I mean, the pandemic was a prime example, and a lot of Disney influencers turned on Disney during the pandemic because they're like, hey, your family. And that's what you're told when you go through the training program. Your
Welcome
family.
home.
Welcome home.
They tell you on the buses. Here's your resort. Welcome home.
Welcome home. The buses that they took away. Yeah. The buses.
Well, no, I think don't they do that when you ride the in-park transportation?
Yeah, they do.
They're like, welcome home.
Welcome home, everybody. Welcome home. Welcome home to Disney. You're part of the family. Your cast members, you're part of the family. Then it's like push comes to shove, and they're like, hey, employees, dear employees, get the hell out. Collect your free cheese on the way out the door. Gotta save money. Cheese. Nobody got free cheese. Mickey kept all the cheese for himself. They gave all the cheese to Christine McCarthy so she can get fatter.
No, yeah, because you're not the guests. We have to shrink sizes of food because we don't want.
Well, we need
waistlines of guests get larger. They won't fit in the Tron coaster. I was just
thinking Tron. They won't fit on Tron. Okay, so the tangent. Watching a ride through video with Tim Tracker yesterday in Tron. And I'm like, okay, let's watch Tim, because I've actually met Tim Tracker. He's a nice guy. He's a real nice guy.
Yeah, you sat with him at
I ate dinner with him a couple times.
But you weren't part of media.
I wasn't part of media. Yeah. No, he was a very nice guy, very down to earth, but he's a tall guy like me. And so he's trying to fit onto the Tron coaster, and they had him get into the ride, and he's like, yeah, He's like, if you're an inch or two taller than I am, he's like, I hate to say it, but you're probably not going to fit on this thing.
You're taller than he is.
I'm taller than he is. He's a tall guy, but I'm tall. I'm 6'3". And he's like, I'm 6'2", and I can barely fit on this. He's like, if I was an inch or two taller, there's no way I'm going to be able to sit on this comfortably. I'm like, well, there it goes. I had Seven Dwarfs Mine Pain, and now I'm not going to be able to fit on the Tron coaster.
No offense, you wouldn't ride the Tron coaster anyway.
Probably not. I don't like coasters.
It's not your speed.
So I'm just waiting for all the backlash against that. Once it opens to the public, I'm waiting for all the backlash because everybody's dunking on Nintendo now. Like, we can't fit on the Mario Kart ride. You're fat shaming. I'm like, just wait for Tron.
Well,
baby.
The good thing about Tron, though, is they do have a car on the back of the Trons. And that the Tron ride vehicles,
Tron trunk.
The Tron trunk, yes. But it has upright seating. Now, people said that you can see a lot more from those seats, and it's actually more comfortable because some people can't bend like that or whatever for different, health reasons. And they have a seat. The only problem is it's not on every ride vehicle, and the wait during cast member previews was 30 minutes extra just to get onto one of those cars. And that's when you don't have all the people coming in as guests. Who didn't watch their waistlines with the food portions. So, I think the line for the back car is going to be extensive, and they might want to go add that to every ride vehicle.
They need a Tron truck. They can put people in.
Was all the seated, upright seated, so everybody could ride. Yeah. No, I don't think with Mario.
Tron bus.
With Mario, they don't even offer that. There's only, the one type of car at Universal for the Mario ride. There's only one ride.
They don't have Yoshi there?
No, they only have the Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge or whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of lame.
Universal Orlando is going to have more attractions than just the Bowser's Challenge. They're going to have like the Yoshi and supposedly there's Donkey Kong.
Well, they have a lot more room. They have a lot more room at Universal in Florida than they do in California. There's not much room in California.
Well, Japan's adding the Donkey Kong as well. But, they're making these ride vehicles overseas to fit Asian audiences.
Yes, so it's going to be really interesting. This is like totally off the beat path. But I'm just waiting, again, we're talking about people turning on Disney. I think we're going to see a lot of backlash when Tron opens. Was it April? I think it's opening in April.
Well, they could have taken $7 million and not fired people and added extra, seating for people that, are bigger than a size, whatever.
The light cycle bus,
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so we got to wrap this up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.